Yeah.
Okay.
Lanier?
No. Oh, Lanier.
From the
He's going to go off the
Yeah,
play,
he's in the
no?
outfield. Yeah, he's gonna play. He got an opportunity at the next level. So
Yeah, so Danny,
congratulations to him.
What was his
I'm
name?
proud of him.
Danny
Danny Rondon.
Rendon. Yes. Yes.
I
Rendon.
think he could have.
Yes, I could remember.
That kid has a hose. That kid can throw
Oh,
the
Danny.
ball.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he has an arm.
Yeah. So you lose those three dudes, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you have a lot of guys that can come up. I mean, you got AJ, you got
Yeah, we have
Jerry,
several
you
guys.
got you
yeah.
got some pitching now. You got some pitching. It's just, the Prados of the world, does he step up?
Yeah.
I mean, do some of these other kids step up to answer the call like last year,
Yeah.
These you put in guys and those guys performed at the next level. And I think that, in my opinion, I think they are going to step up. I think that
We're gonna make sure they're ready to, and it starts in a week.
right. In a week you go back to school,
Yeah,
right?
we go back to school.
Right.
So we're gonna make sure that we get those guys ready to go and prepare them, because we know they're gonna get in there eventually.
Right. No, yeah, absolutely, 100%. I truly believe that they will step up. I mean, I don't think that they're going to shy away. They know what they're capable of now. They've been there now. They saw it. They saw what they did. I mean, if you ask me, what y'all did to Los Fresnos, that was super impressive.
Yeah.
Considering they only lost a handful of games. They won over 30 games or whatnot. And, so I think that, South, I mean, Laredo's just loaded with baseball. So these guys, should be able to perform at a high level again this year. I really believe that. I really believe that they'll do well, and I really believe that you guys will have a better season. I mean, barring your team can stay healthy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Barring the guys can stay healthy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's always, the X factor. You never know what happens in the season. And somebody, whatever, gets a chronic hamstring pull and they just can't run down balls in the outfield or whatever the case is. You know how that goes. Somebody breaks an arm or something like that. You just never know. So going forward, you guys start next week.
Yes.
So then you have, 6 months to get ready? About 6 months, roughly?
6 months, yeah.
Roughly. How do you think that do y'all have that fall team too, right? Y'all have fall ball or whatever?
Yeah, we don't put it together. It's
Right.
kind
It's
of
somebody else but there's a fall
there's
whatever
a fall league where all the high schools kind of just to have them playing.
practice each other,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah, like practice games.
Right.
And I mean, we go watch them.
Right.
We go watch and just sit in the stands and just
Right.
See what they can do.
Right. So, it's going to be interesting. I know that, we talked about third base and a couple outfield spots available, but just like in every diamond, every start of every year, every position is available,
Yeah. And that's what we tell them, like, because we the last thing we want is for our guys to come in and think, I'm the starting catcher. I've started the past 2 years, like I'm good.
Yeah.
No, because you never know when, the guy right behind you has maybe put in more work than you, and
surprise.
Yeah, like that's the way the game works.
Right.
If somebody plays better than you,
Right.
that's it.
Yeah.
And that's why we try to do a lot of competition in the fall.
Yeah.
And get them going at it.
Mm-hmm.
That way they win their spot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whether you've played there all year, last year, every single game, or you haven't played baseball at all. So
I've heard a lot of coaches say that, but you guys actually mean it, because it happened to me where there was a guy in front of me and, he didn't perform how he was supposed to, and you guys gave me the shot and I ended up producing. So there's always a chance for you out there. Don't think because, this guy is a star shortstop, you might have your shot. You have one good game and he has a bad one. You keep on the ball, rolling the ball, and you get the opportunity. You have to make sure you answer the call. So, for those newcomers or people that didn't play last year that are coming back, don't think that, the guy in front of you is going to be there forever. You can always, hard work beats talent. Always.
100%.
yeah, I think we're very, very straightforward. with our players. You know, at least I will never sugarcoat anything to one of our players, and especially not lie to him. You know, I would never lie to one of our players about where he stands, or and I'll tell him, look, if you guys ever want like an honest opinion, like of where you might end up in the future, just come and ask me. You know, and I'm not telling you because, you know, I don't believe in you or whatever, but it's because I respect you that much, right? That I wouldn't sugarcoat or I won't lie to you and tell you, yeah, man, like, you know, you're the best player. Like, don't worry, you know, like I'll always tell you how it is. And I think actually all our coaching staff will always be like that. So I think that helps out a lot too, right? Because then kids start seeing, man, like I need to work harder, or man, like, you know, this guy's right behind me. I have to get on the ball, and it helps them. It helps them to keep them on their toes.
Another thing I want to add is that these kids shouldn't think that they're some big time player, because, you know, it happened to me too, where I think it was the start of my junior year. I was starting at third base for now, and I'm not gonna say his name, but this kid comes up to me and Milo, and he's like, "Who's at third base this year?" And I was like, "It's me." He's like, "Well, I'm gonna take your spot." You know, it might have been a joke, but I was like, okay, whatever. But what I'm trying to get to is, if you've been playing second base or shortstop or pitcher or whatever, center field your whole life, in high school and in college, that might be different. The coach might see, you know, that you're better fit for another position, or maybe the guy in front of you is just going to be better all the time. But you can't be opposed to the idea of switching positions, especially if you're going to get playing time. If you're playing second base or third base, it's the same thing. You're going to get ground balls. You're going to get at-bats. Play somewhere if the coach thinks that's the right fit for you. Don't be, I don't know what the word is, but I guess just not so, like, hard-headed.
Arrogant?
Oh, yeah, arrogant. There you go.
Yeah, it's like I was saying at the beginning, when they told me, hey, well, you're going to play outfield, I was like, am I going to play? He's like, yeah. That's all I want to hear. I don't really care where I'm playing. I can, if you want out DH or whatever, but
I mean, didn't Ellie take the position at TMU playing canicas?
Actually, it's funny because I remember.
Actually, that's the name of a dog, believe it or not.
Canicas.
But anyways, that's for a different story.
I remember
different
they used to
podcast.
call me that in high school.
Burberry, Puma.
They would call me canicas in high school.
Did they really?
Nah, I'm just no, so Ellie, right? Hopefully, maybe we can bring them down.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I'd love to have two coaches down here and have a podcast with both of you guys. I don't know, with Ellie, we may be here till, you know, he's got those stories because he played on the Mexican national team.
Yes. That
went to go play in where is it, Pennsylvania?
In Williamsburg.
And they lost in the championship game. Well, they got spanked by Hawaii. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember we found the video where they introduced him. And he looks exactly the same. Exactly the same little baby face. But
yeah, same little baby face, same grown ass man at 12 years old.
I remember when he showed up at TMU because he went for a tryout.
Right.
So he was good friends with one of our catchers.
Okay.
And I think they played in Arkansas together.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
So he showed up to TMU, and he pitched against us. I hit a double off the wall, off of him. I'm like, dude, I'm sorry.
I think the dent's still in the wall.
I was like, I'm sorry, man. Like, I didn't mean to do that to you. No, but I did actually. But he was a stud.
Absolutely.
He could pitch. Yeah,
absolutely. I remember watching him on a Sunday afternoon, watching you guys play. You guys were playing San Angelo or Kingsville. No, San Angelo. And that weekend, you hit a home run. Mo was behind the plate. You were playing third. Ellie did phenomenal, and Valdo did phenomenal. Mm-hmm. It was like all you guys did really, really good. It was impressive to watch. It's like you see them develop. You see the work that you've put in, and then you see it on the field translate to the field. It's like, wow, like that's really impressive. You guys were jacked. You guys were, I mean.
Yeah, I really enjoyed my time there at TMU. Got to meet a lot of guys that, you know, you probably would never meet in your life, right? And even to this day, you know, I wouldn't even call them friends, or they're like brothers to me.
Yeah.
And actually, one of them is gonna get married, so he asked me to be his groomsman. So
Oh, wow.
that's gonna be fun.
Yeah. Good luck with that. No, I mean, good luck. Like,
No,
I hope it's not Ellie.
No, it's Jeremy Valadez.
Yeah.
Yeah, really, really good. Like, talk to him on a daily basis,
Yeah.
texting, calling him, and just, hey, how's the family? And
Hey, just a side note, did that Alex character ever reappear? The guy that would run like in barefoot, like the guy, like I don't know, he was like 8-year baseball player at 10.
Alex Cabezas.
Yeah.
So
From Austin, is he
he's
still
from Austin. I have him on Instagram. I want to say he does like construction. He does like renovations.
Okay.
And
In Austin?
Yeah, in Austin.
Okay.
And I recently talked to one of my friends from New York.
Okay.
Will? Remember
Yeah,
Will?
yeah, Will, yeah.
So he also played with us. And he told me, he's like, hey, I'm going to go down to Laredo.
Okay.
I'm flying to Austin. And then me and Alex are going to drive down to Laredo. So I'm going to hit you up. So I'm waiting for that call. But yeah, like the bond and the relationships that you build with your teammates,
absolutely.
like especially when you grind with them so much and you know you go through everything together, you know, it becomes like
And
a
that's
family.
That's the biggest thing that, you know, when I left the game, I didn't miss the game. I missed the camaraderie with the guys. Like going out to lunch after a long Saturday practice, or a double header on a Sunday or a Saturday, and then you go eat, and you get to the field at 8 o'clock in the morning. You start at 10 a.m. and you're not off the field till 7 p.m. And then you got to fix the mound, and then you got to put the tarp and do all that stuff. You miss those times. Those are the times you miss with everybody. With all the guys. Yes, you miss the game, the competition, but you find other things to compete in. Like, I went on to go do some half Ironmans and stuff like that. But you find other ways to compete, So it's not just, and those guys that, I talk about those guys, Deacon, some guys Deacon and
Biddy?
Biddy's here. He's one of the commanders here with Bortak, and he went on to the military. He was with the Ranger Regiment, and and a lot of the guys are PD guys. A couple buddies are in Canada cops. I mean, you still keep in touch with that group that you went to college. You'll never forget those guys. And you guys at United had a good group go play college this year. And you're going to have a lot more next year to go on and go play college. And so, it's very exciting to see what you guys got coming, because you guys had a very, very solid season last year. And it's going to be exciting to see what you all do this year. It's not always, again, as you know, you guys start with Border Olympics, you go to Austin, you go to Corpus, and all of a sudden you pick up your head, and you guys are 5-12.
Yeah.
But you lost 7 games to, 5 of the 7 games to the top 5 teams.
And close games.
Yeah.
We're not getting blown out.
Yeah, not get blown out.
We are holding our own on those games. So.
And that's solid. I would, it'd be interesting to see if you guys do the same thing this year.
I mean, that's a plan, right?
Right.
I think
it'd be really cool to see that again. Like, that you guys go up and compete with the big boys. The Westlakes, the Lake Travises, the Cal Allens, the Sandy, the Johnsons, the, O'Connors. Who was the other team? Bernie Champion. They were solid this year. And it's good baseball. It's good baseball. Very good baseball. And, Laredo baseball belongs.
Yeah.
Belongs, 100%.
One of my, I can't say goals because I can't control it.
Right.
But I would love to see all the 4 Laredo schools make it to the playoffs one year.
Sure. Absolutely. It can be done.
I think that would be amazing for the city, for Laredo to kind of open their eyes, like, man, like our kids are good. They have what it takes. Because sometimes I feel like in the city, like here, like Laredo, you might get pushed down a little bit by the by the city. Like they always have kind of this negativity towards you, and I say it because I've felt it before when I used to play.
Uh-huh.
You know, I've had people tell us like when this was with Little League, but
Right.
we're asking for money to go play at the World Series for Little League, and I had people tell me like why am I gonna give you money? Like you guys are gonna go lose. And it's like, okay, well, thank you like for the support, I guess. But
yeah, and you're gonna have that. Look, you're gonna have that. I have this, and the guys know it. I always say, you always got to have your haters, because with your haters, they become fans, because they take a look at everything you're doing. So without the haters, you need more haters, because they become fans. So you continue to need the haters. And it's unfortunate that the actual city, like you talk about, like, oh, for what am I going to, support you guys if you're going to lose? Something very similar happened to, which is crazy to me, which happened to Markey when he got drafted, and someone the day after the draft, Markey came in to work out, and he's like, check this out. He finished his workout. Obviously, he was thinking about it, right? And so he goes, check this out. So he gets his phone and he shows me. He goes, what is this kid doing? He's so stupid. He needs to go to Texas Tech and get his education. He's not going to make it in baseball. And so I sat Markey down, and I said, look, man, that's a good thing. And let me tell you why. Use that as motivation and show them what's up. You know you can play. That's why you were the only pitcher drafted by the whole organization. Go do what you do. Don't worry about that. One day you'll understand that you're going to need those haters because they're going to be your fans. Now the kid's doing phenomenal in Double-A, I believe. So you just got to keep moving forward. Yeah. And it sucks because it's your city, right? And I agree with you 100%. In my opinion, in my humble opinion, I feel 100% what you just said. All 4 schools, playoffs. But I take it a step further. I think it should at least be in the Sweet 16.
Oh, yeah.
Because baseball is Laredo.
Yeah.
Laredo, I mean, that's the sport here. I mean, of course, you got some kids that are soccer as well. Tennis is becoming up and coming, big time. Big time. Just go to the country club. I mean, every weekend, man, there's people. It's packed over there at the country club. So, my opinion, I agree with you 100%. It should be a standard that all 4, because Sierra, I mean, they got players. LBJ, they've got players. South got players. I mean, I think the only school right now that, and it's just because they don't have the numbers, but still they have the kids out there, is Martin. Yeah. Really. Martin's, I think they just don't have the numbers, the sheer numbers. They have the kids that they have, and that's it. Unfortunately, right?
I remember we had to cancel a JV game against them because they had to move like half of the team up.
Okay.
Yeah. Because they didn't have enough players for the varsity.
Yeah. So. And it's just demographically where they're located, and it's not like a whole brand new subdivision's going up there and people are moving to that area.
I think that's where I appreciate, and I kind of step back and I'm like, I'm very lucky to be in the school I am.
Oh,
because I've never, obviously, I've been there my whole career.
Right.
I've never experienced anything like that. Mm-hmm. And that's where I'm blessed, I don't have to worry if we're going to have enough for
kids
a team
to play.
And that lets me put more into coaching, I know I can just go and coach and develop and that's it. Like, I don't have to worry about, I need to bring in someone, or
you're not on the recruiting trip.
I don't have to worry about maybe showing somebody how to catch.
Right.
Like some other schools. So it's pretty good. But one of the biggest things, like you said, like about Laredo, I've come to realize that family, right, is the most important thing.
Sure, 100%.
In the world.
100%.
And sometimes, growing up, you worry about other things a little bit more and you kind of get away from it. But then coming back as an adult, those are the only fans you should be worried about. Right?
Yeah.
Your parents, your brothers, if you're married, your wife, your kids. As long as they support you, then doesn't matter what, like you said, it doesn't matter what the haters say. Because their support, even if they do support you, like it doesn't matter if they support you. Eventually, right. Like you said, once you get to where you want to be, they're gonna become fans.
Yeah.
And my senior year of high school, nobody was expecting us to do anything. Mm-hmm. I want to say that right now we hold the record for most wins in the season in United. Mm-hmm. I want to say we went 34 with mm-hmm. one tie and 2 losses. Wow. 3 losses, sorry.
Wow.
That's so impressive. We went undefeated for like the first 19 games.
Wow.
And I remember, we would go to the tournaments and just sweep everyone. Back when Border Olympics was a tournament, right? Because now it's round robin.
Double elimination.
We beat Westlake mm-hmm. in the championship. Mm-hmm. So we won that tournament. And when we used to look back at it, I know Danny brought this up earlier. Like, it wasn't about, oh, my God, we're playing Westlake. Like, oh, my God, this guy. Like, we showed up. It's like, okay, who we're playing? Like, or it didn't even matter who we were playing. Like, we were going to go and just play what we do, and we're going to win. But, yeah, a lot of people were not expecting us to do that. And sure enough, right, we're playing Alexander, Unitrade, all that. And the whole place is packed now. Right now, everyone's behind us. Everyone's a United fan. And, that's where people become fans. I actually hit a walk-off that game. So, went undefeated in district. Swept, like, the first 2 rounds. And then we played Alexander the 3rd round. I don't know if you were here.
No. Is that with that pitcher that was there?
Joel?
Garcia? No, Garcia.
EJ. Oh, EJ. Yes, we faced EJ. That was always like the rival, right?
Right.
Really, probably one of the best athletes I've ever seen.
Yeah.
He was a freak.
Yeah.
Really good friend too. Played them in the 3rd round. We actually played at Veterans because Unitrade, the Lemurs were playing. Mm-hmm. And they were making like a huge argument. Well, you're going to get more fans if you put this game. But obviously that's what the field was for the Lemurs. But Veterans was packed. Probably the talking about moments, right? As a player, that was one of the best moments I've experienced, was playing in the 3rd round against Alexander in your hometown. Mm-hmm. And the whole thing was just packed, and it was amazing. But then we ended up losing the next round to O'Connor.
Wow. So that was because there was a year. So was that the game? Was that the year that Alexander played?
Well, back then I think they were 4A.
So obviously, since back in the day when you were playing, I know back when I played, it was Moody, Eagle Pass, Nixon. I mean, there was just a bunch of powerhouse. Even Seattle was good back then. So there was no Alexander back then, but Nixon was ranked. We were ranked. Actually, we were ranked number 1 in the state of. It was 5A. Mm-hmm. 5A. There was no super 5A.
Yeah, I was 5A.
Okay, you did.
Yeah.
Okay, so they put all 5As.
Yeah.
And so we were ranked number 1. And we beat Victoria Strom, and we beat Corpus Christi Moody, Eagle Pass, Nixon, all of them, to win the Border Olympics.
Yeah.
And then Nixon got the best of us.
I think as much as I know I was talking about Laredo not supporting, I always have this like goal in mind that I want to change that.
Right.
I want Laredo to be proud of what they have, which it's coming, like I can see it growing.
Right.
But not only in high schools, like I don't think they understand that they have a college team here with TAMIU, right? Because TAMIU is probably one of the toughest conference in part of the U.S. with the Lone Star Conference.
Well, yeah, I mean,
they're playing.
If you follow baseball,
well, I think even basketball.
Well, I mean, the conference is tough.
Yeah.
Right. Period. But Division II champion this year, San Angelo.
Yeah.
Okay.
From
from the
Lone
conference.
Star,
Yeah. So we actually have the boy in the full body cast, Luis Mario. I mean, he throws javelin there.
Yeah.
And then we just had Crisia from your school go play over there. And
Oh,
they
that's
won
right.
the national championship in volleyball 2 years ago.
I think they had 2 pitchers drafted too.
Yeah.
In Angelo.
Yeah.
So
They've
that's
had-
where people mistake, like, they think, oh, D2, like, why am I going to go to a D2? Like, any type of baseball
Next level.
at the next level, whether it's JUCO, NAIA, D2, obviously D1, D3, whatever it is, if you're playing somewhere other than high school, it's going to be tough. There's a lot of competition everywhere. There's a lot of Dannies. There's a lot of me's. There's a lot of players who can hit 300. There's a lot of players that can throw 90 plus now. It's just a matter of, do you have the work ethic? What are you going to do to stand out?
Are you
And
coachable?
Are you coachable? Yeah.
Are you coachable?
Probably number 1 there.
Yeah. Can you pass the grades? Are you not going to be partying?
Yeah.
I talk about this every day in here. Hey, you guys say you want to go next level. You know, you got to be in the weight room at 5:30. You got to be in the classroom from 8 to 12. You got to be at practice from 1:30 to 6. You have to be in the library from 7 to 9. Mandatory library.
Yeah.
You say you want a scholarship. Do you really want a scholarship? I mean, and then they get there and they're like, oh, man, I got to do all this? Yeah. And then some. On the weekends, you got to go hit. You got to take the ground balls. You got to go work on your craft.
A lot of, and it happens often, right, where we only have a certain amount of time in practice.
Sure.
Right? So your rounds of BP, maybe 4 rounds of
5.
4 rounds of 5, maybe 5 rounds of 5, right, if we have enough time, or maybe only BP. And sometimes, like, a lot of players think, oh, like, this should be getting me better. But no, you cannot get better swinging 20 times a day, 25 times a day. It's all the extra work that you put in. That's where you start growing as a baseball player. All the extra ground balls, all the extra tee work, where it's not in practice, right? Because if you're gonna be a good hitter, you need to swing at least 200 times a day.
Mm-hmm.
That's minimum.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not doing that, it's hard to develop that skill.
100%. It's a perishable skill, just no different than shooting.
Yeah.
You know, you got to be, you know, we have Ari here who plays volleyball at TAMU, and she just won archery competition. You know, if she doesn't shoot every day, you know, she's not going to be able to win those, you know. And her dad, too, he got second place or whatnot. But you have to do those. No different than golf, no different than tennis, no different than any of that. Exactly what you're talking about. You know, and I like to explain it like this. So if you're outfield, you know, you got to get those pop flies. Yeah. You got to practice. You know why? You may go 5 games and nobody hits you the ball. But it's that one time that they do, you better know what to do with it. And it's same like shortstop, second base, turning 2, you know? You may go 10 games without turning in double play. And then that one time that you need to turn the double play to win the game, you got to be ready. So, and that's why I say, and that was my reference to the game, that big game that you guys played there. You know, there was a lot of opportunities that were missed. You know, where they could have turned the double play, but they just didn't, or whatever, the pop fly, you know, whatever the case was. There was opportunities there that were missed. And so I really feel like they just have to go practice more. And it's like you say, you may get, if they're lucky, they're going to get 5 rounds of 5 swings, whatever the case is. They need to go. I mean, they have a facility here. Yeah. They can go at night and go hit. And then the ground balls. I mean, they can do that on their own. Yeah. I mean,
just get a tennis ball. There's nothing better than getting a tennis ball, throw it against the wall.
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
Over and over and over.
Over and over and over and over. Yeah. You think and it goes back to baseballs is one of those games that you have to enjoy the process. You got to fall in love with the process. But to be elite, you have to become obsessed with the process. And the process, you're going to fail a lot in the process, but you have to be obsessed. And you have to compartmentalize your losses in order to succeed. You think Michael Jordan missing 10,000 shots, He didn't quit.
Yeah.
He didn't quit. You know, he missed over 26 game winners. He didn't quit. He didn't quit.
Yeah.
You know, and then you got LeBron crying. He gets they breathe on him, and he's crying in the center court.
Old head that thinks Michael Jordan is better than LeBron.
Oh, yeah, okay.
That's a different topic because same thing with baseball, like with Babe Ruth and Ohtani.
It's Ohtani, bro. It's Ohtani.
It's just different.
It's a different era.
It's different eras. But yes, if you put them together, yes, Ohtani blows Babe Ruth out of the,
bro.
But
see, I'm telling you, he's old. That's why he
hold
thinks
on.
Babe Ruth.
But what Babe Ruth did was impressive.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying Babe Ruth is bad.
With just showing up, right? Probably just taking a couple swings, going back into the clubhouse, drinking who knows what, and then going out there and doing what he did.
Bro.
But I'll take Ohtani. Whoa.
He show up with the cigar, the Churchill in his mouth.
I told you.
2 chicks, drunk off his ass, and go throw a shutout while he hit 2 home runs, and go 2 for 3.
It's a different era. Yeah. And I think that's where
it is, and that's you're right, 100%. I mean,
I think that's where the media gets it wrong, right? Because these kids, right? Everyone sees the players, and they just see them performing at the highest level and doing all these things, but nobody talks. They don't show, nobody talks about. Like, what does Ohtani do? Mm-hmm. What did he do to get to where he does? Mm-hmm. And then people say, "Oh, Ohtani's like a unicorn. He's like naturally talented." Like that. That's not natural talent. Like that's work and work and work and work and years of work and a lot of sweat and a lot of blood and tears and a lot of stuff. He wasn't born swinging and pitching the way he does. And I don't like when people say, "Oh, he's naturally gifted." You can be naturally gifted. It doesn't mean that you're gonna perform at that level.
Yeah, and it only took Messi 3 years to be the player he is, and he'll tell you it took me over a lifetime to be the player I am today, and that goes back to the work, all the failures. How many times did he fail in the World Cup? I mean, Ronaldo. Now he's the one that is lacking. And they're going to play him that way. But as far as baseball goes and Babe Ruth, I mean, there was so many savages back in the day,
Yeah, but Lou Gehrig.
Oh my God! I mean, you can go on and on and on and on and on and on.
Guys who went to war.
The Strom, yeah.
They went to war, came back, and picked up where like if nothing happened.
Yeah, and they just saw their best friend die, whatever, and then go throw no hitter.
Barry Bonds.
Yeah, Barry Bonds.
Wherever he was on to hit 100.
But look, the funny thing. Since we're talking baseball, let's talk about the steroid era. Okay, everybody was on it. Okay, Lenny Dykstra, all them dudes were on it. Kenny, I think his name was Kenny Anderson, center fielder for Baltimore. Dude hit like 50 some odd home runs. Like he never did that ever. The most he had ever hit was like 5 or 3 home runs in a season. Everybody was doing it. It's like no different than Lance Armstrong. Everybody was doing it then, okay? They went back and they saw that the top 20 guys, they all had PEDs in them, So, I mean, you still got to do the work.
Yeah.
You still got to hit the ball, and it's still coming fast, and you got to hit on the sweet spot. I mean, come on. I mean, now you got giants like, this guy's brother, what's his name? Aaron Judge. Oh, I mean, guy's 6'6", 280.
My favorite player. Well,
bro, he lives in the IL, bro. He rode his ankle coming off the subway, bro.
No, he hit his foot in the fence, right? He's still out? He knocked down the fence, basically.
Yeah, he knocked down the fence, made the catch.
Yeah.
And that's where he got hurt. But that guy is one of those that if he's going to get hurt, he's going to do it for the team.
But it's like you say how the media gets it wrong or people in general get it wrong, like, oh, he's just God-given talent. He's just gifted. No, that dude spends hours in the gym working out.
I've seen a lot of 6'6", skinny bone guys walking sticks. That was probably him when he was in high school.
Yeah. No difference than the kid that went to Air Force this year. That was at Air Force. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, you do. Skeens.
Oh, Skeens. You said Air Force.
Yeah. He pitched at Air Force.
Oh, and then he went to LSU.
Yeah, then he went to LSU.
Well, Danny was.
No, well, yeah. Danny was a $1.05 soaking wet with change in his back pocket and army boots.
I think we actually one time we told him, "Hey, Danny, like
hit a weight room."
No. One time he came back and he was slow.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. That was like a really bad bulk. I don't know what you were doing.
Yeah, I did a dirty bulk.
But
he was right. I was slow.
I don't know what happened, but he looked like
Super
like
slow.
I was
what's his
eating
name?
chow.
Like the boxer that we're talking about, Fury.
Oh, Tommy Fury.
Like just huge, and I'm like, Danny, like, what you doing, dude? And he's like, no, get dirty bulk. I'm like, there's no such thing as a freaking dirty bulk.
He just ate everything and anything he could find.
It was a dirty bulk, all right.
But he fixed it.
Yeah.
That's like I said earlier, like we told you straight up, we ain't bring you in, and Danny, it's because I think you're like maybe you're a little too big. Like, no, we said, Danny, you you look big, like you're slow.
Yeah.
Like, are you sure you can catch a fly ball out there? And he's like, no, I'm gonna fix it, and he did, and that was it.
Yeah. So yeah, going back on that, what you guys were talking about, that being coachable to be able to play any position in that. That's what the kids have to understand this at this time. You might. I always say, if you can hit, they'll find a spot for you. And
there's always a DH,
and that's no different than Rocco. Rocco played outfield, and guess what? Playing first base at Oklahoma. Hey, he can hit. Guy can ball. Okay, so they found a spot for him. And that's what it's about. That's what it's about. You go. I don't care who you are. You go to college, as you know. Guys come from all over the nation, and they're gonna pick the best 9 because they have a mortgage to pay. They got car payments. They got insurance. They got a house. They may have kids. They may have, child support. You don't know. They need a win, so they can keep their job at that next level. And so,
because you have A-Rod, probably one of the best right-handed hitters of all time,
right?
Moved to third base.
Yeah,
and I'm sure he wasn't complaining at all.
No, absolutely not. I mean, actually, he went from Texas to New York, saying, "Okay,
I'll go to third." Like he knew, you know what?
That's fine.
Jeter owns that spot.
But what does that say about A-Rod? How hell of a good player he is.
And he won Gold Gloves.
Yeah,
he wasn't.
Yeah. Won World Series at third.
Yeah, he wasn't just a plug in and catch a ground ball. He was good.
Yeah. So I mean, we can go on and on and on, talk baseball all night. But I know you've got a furry at home that
we can talk about him.
No, okay. So Milan.
Yes.
Right. That's your son. How old is Milan?
I'll try to transition it. How old is he?
He is 1.
He doesn't even know, bro.
He's gonna be.
Right.
He's gonna be 2 months. Watching 2 months on the 14th. Yeah.
Okay. So you've been watching players develop, whether it's baseball. Me and you, I'm done with baseball, for at least for now, right? And then now you just see me grow as a person. Are you excited to do that with your son, your actual blood?
Well, I am excited, because I see it every day. He wakes up and somehow he does something new and I'm like, am I teaching you this or? But
what does he do, bro?
No,
what is he doing?
From one day to the other, he just started climbing.
Is he hanging out with Grandpa?
No.
No, okay.
No, I spend a lot of time with him.
Okay.
Being a teacher, actually, the whole summer, he was with me, day in and day out, and I love him. I love him. The other day, I'm telling you, all of a sudden, I went into his room, and he was inside one of his
drawers.
The drawers. I'm like,
bro,
where are you? How did you even get up here? And he's there, playing, and he's just looking at me, smiling, and I'm like, was not I try my best not to limit him. If he's doing things like that, I kind of let him do it, because to him, he's doing something new.
Mm-hmm.
He's developing in his own way, and I'm not going to take that away from him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if I see it's a little dangerous, then I might help him out. But
have you tried putting a bat in his hands yet?
I do. I think he's going to be a lefty, throwing-wise, which I kind of want to switch him because there's more.
But your brother's a lefty.
My brother's a lefty. My mom's a lefty.
Oh, okay.
So I do. He has a little Yankee bat, a little Yankee ball, and he swings it.
We're in Laredo, Texas. He doesn't have a Teco ball?
No.
Okay.
As long as you don't say Astros.
No,
Okay.
no. Don't even say that.
All right.
When people try to say hi to him, and if they're wearing an Astros jersey, I won't let them touch it. No, but just watching them develop so much in 1 year, you know, it's like all the TikToks, you know, they say, oh, you're going to miss the newborn and it goes by quick. And it's like, they're not lying, you know. I thought he was going to be small forever, but he's growing at an incredible rate that I don't know. Like, it feels like I can't keep up, but I mean, I have to be there for him. And I've always told myself, you know, I have probably, the best dad in the world. Mm-hmm. You know, he raised me and he taught me so many things. And my goal has always been to be a better father than he was to me, which is going to be hard, but I have to find a way to do it because what wasn't meant for me is meant for Milan, whether it be baseball, academic, whatever he's going to do in his life. And I'm going to do the best I can to give him the tools.
Right.
Just how my parents did, you know. I never needed anything, right? If I needed a glove, I would have a glove. I mean, obviously.
Was that a Cuevas glove?
It was rolling.
Oh, rolling.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cuevas was a little bit after.
Okay.
And I remember getting my first Wilson, like a jet glove. Yeah, okay. A2000. My dad bought it for me, and I'm like, man, like this is the first glove, right? It's always been Mexican gloves, and but yeah, like my dad's always done the best he could.
Right.
So that's all I want to be for him, and it's just crazy because you watch shows and you go through life, right? But then when you have a son, like everything you watch is different. Mm-hmm. Like I was watching Breaking Bad, and I saw it in college. Good show, whatever.
Is that Sinbad?
Huh?
Who was in that?
Breaking Bad.
Oh, okay.
The one about the chemistry teacher?
Yeah.
So I rewatched it, and there's a lot of like dad moments, and I'm like, man, like I feel what he's feeling that I didn't realize back in college, right? Because you're just watching it, however, and it's just crazy how your world changed. Like it changes 180, and it's not even about you anymore. Like your whole life is surrounded with one person, and that's just one person. So, you know, whenever baby number 2 and so on, you know.
So on?
Probably not. Probably just 2.
Okay.
I think that's the plan. But
okay, that's the plan.
But it's just crazy. And then if we want to go to baseball, my objective has always been to just teach him how to respect the game. Right. I know the development, like that can happen and stuff, but teach him the right way to play the game and teach him how to respect not just the game of baseball, but everyone that he plays with, his teammates, his opponents, coaches, all that stuff. So
sure, 100%, man. No, yeah, it's been yeah, dude. It's been a while. What year did you finish college?
17.
17. So I met you in 15, I think. 15 or 16. So yeah, so
I remember those times here.
Oh yeah, dude.
This was the old ELEV8, back when it was brown floors with the green turf.
You remember that?
Yeah, and that's when George used to work out with us. He would get in the workouts with us.
Yeah, these guys can't handle it.
No. You can't get under the bar no more.
Oh, no,
your
that
hip will pop out.
I can't get under the bar right now.
So just watch. So there was George, me, Alvaro Rondon. He was in here, and then a British guy, basketball player.
Oh,
Jake, remember Jake?
Jake.
And I think at that time it was just us, and we would come in. Right, workout was at 9. I don't even remember, but we would sit down, talk, have our
podcast moment,
the tea time. Remember we used to call it tea time,
bro.
And then finally get to the workout, and then the lights, turn on the music, and just go at it.
No. You're
not talking about a workout no more, bro.
No. We
went at it. Grind, yeah, and just pushing bars. And I remember George used to be like, "Man, like if your legs aren't tired, you're not working hard." I was like, "George, it's the first set, man." Like, no, but we used to.
We used to throw the weight around. Yeah. Him and I think it was you and Ellie.
And back how you were saying, like, me and Ellie, like you say, we find ways to compete, but in a positive way.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes it becomes like, no, I'm better than you, or this and that.
No.
So it's more like we're
pushing
each other.
Yeah.
Like more like like we're peers together, we both want to be successful. We want success for each other. And
it was you, Ellie, and Alvaro that threw up 505, I think, on the squat.
Alvaro was he was a freak of nature.
Yeah.
I remember he told me, he came in, right? We had already been working out for like 2 months.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nah, like, you're weak. He's like, just give me 1 week. Like a week later, he was out lifting us.
He's a freak of nature. Yeah, and it's funny because, you know, he would always say, man, George, you know, he was shortstop with D-backs and lost his job when they drafted
Swanson.
Dansby Swanson. And then a year later, they gave him to the Braves because that's where he was from. Anyways, Alvaro lost his job at that point. But he would always say, like, man, these workouts here are just, I mean, they're bad. You have taught me more here than what the Diamondbacks did for me. And so that's pretty impressive considering that, you know, he was there. He was on the spring training team and he was there. And unfortunate, you know, they took the number 1 pick and they paid him $10 million and then Stewart traded him. So, but back in those days, I mean, man, these boys, man, shit. I mean, they were throwing up, I don't know, 465 on the bench. They were squatting 505. I mean, they were throwing up the weight. This guy and Ellie and Alvaro. I mean, they were throwing some weight around. There was it was, and he's not joking. When the lights would go down, the radio. I mean, it was time to work. It was time to work, and I'll never forget when we first got Big Bertha here. Alvaro came in and he was just like, how do we use this? I said, I don't know, but we're about to find out. And we did probably about 20 sets on Big Bertha. And Alvaro went to the back, to go throw up, and I went to the front to throw up. It was that intense, and that's just how Alvaro did things. I mean, we'd have him, you know, he would come and say, George, I want to steal, I want to break the record in the league I'm in for stolen bases. Okay, so we trained for that. So I had him on the track, you know, Saturday mornings after he worked till, you know, 6 a.m. in the morning. I'd have him on the track at 9 a.m. And then we go eat at the Cuban place.
He used to
do bartending or something.
He would bartend, and I remember. Yeah, he would tell us like, I get home like on a good night, like early, probably like at 4.
4. Yeah.
And then to be up there.
Yeah, and then he'd come up. I'd see him at 9 in the morning on the track. We worked on that, but he ended up getting like 62 stolen bases and a 80-game stint. Yeah, or 100 games. I'm sorry, in 100 games. I think it was 100-game schedule. So he did the record and he got the plaques and everything. I mean, it was really cool. He did a lot. He did a lot, and unfortunately, his career is over now. But no different than, you know, what Ellie did, what you did, what Jake. Remember Big Jake? Yeah. The basketball Jake too.
Oh, what's his last name? Jake.
I don't remember.
No,
he went to Air Force, but Big Jake. So I don't know if he's still in the Air Force or not. But you know, and Valdo, you know, he did really, really good for the year. And so, no, you guys had a great. I mean, you know, you guys really, really did phenomenal work. Did phenomenal job in here training, and you did, and it showed on the field.
Like, and with no guarantees, right? Like, you put in all this work, and you don't even know if you're gonna succeed. Yeah. And I think that's where the obsession comes in. Yeah. Right. Like.
So and they were obsessed with the process. They really were. They really went through it hard. They really went through it every day. I mean, sore, whatever the case was, they came in and worked. I mean, I remember them doing the sled to the next day. They'd come and their legs were black and blue from the blood vessels popping in their legs. That's how hard they had worked the day before. I mean, it was intense, you know, and that's just a different breed.
I just think the only thing that I wish I would have done different was come sooner. Right? And I think that's where today's generation they have, I think that that mindset now. It's like, okay, I have to get in the weight room, and they're doing it early. You know, they're doing it in middle school, probably even sooner than that. I don't know what the youngest person.
Yeah. Well, now, yeah, absolutely, 100%. Now we got now the youngest we'll take is 8 now, and we do have a good little following there. And again, the haters. Oh, ELEV8's. They're babysitters now. No, we're just developing. Because that's what they do at Lake Travis. That's what they do at Austin Westlake, at O'Connor, at Johnson, at Bernie Champion, at Ray, at Cal Allen, at Sinton.
Everywhere.
Yeah, that's what they're doing now. I mean, isn't it funny how Eagle Pass baseball is always good?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so they're always there somewhere in one of the 4. Somewhere. They always find a way to eke it out somehow. Whether it's home cooking with the umps or whatever the case is, right? They always find a way. And there's a reason for that. And, they're always working. Those kids are always working. And
they're good ball players.
Yeah.
I don't know if we have time, but I think that's also shied away. I think a lot of those players in Eagle Pass go play across.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're bordered to Piedras Negras.
Yes, that's true.
So they go play over there, and that type of baseball is completely different.
Yeah.
You get a lot of different experiences over there that you're able to bring in and play at the high school level, and you have that kind of, I don't know how to say it, I guess like maña.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Different mañas.
Yeah, like mañas, and you have more callous, I think they like to say it, like, and I think that back in the day that used to be Laredo, going to play in North Laredo, and I think that's kind of been shied away from.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not
conducive,
not the safest over there.
Yeah.
But I think the type of baseball that you experience over there is different.
Right.
And the development of a player, at least for me, experiencing different type of baseballs is the best, because you get to pick and choose from, let's say, okay, I'm gonna take this from what I learned over here, and okay, I'm gonna take this from what I learned in high school, and if you play travel ball, okay, I'm gonna take it from this coach and that coach, or this player and that player, and then that's where good players develop, when they understand how to pick and choose what's good for them. Because a lot of times players tend to put all their marbles in, like, with one person, and okay, this guy, his word is all there is, and that's it.
Right.
Like, that's all I'm gonna listen to.
Right.
And nobody in this world knows everything.
Well, again, baseball, there's 100 ways to hit the baseball.
Yeah.
100 different methods. The end result is hitting the baseball, right? Yeah. So, yeah, you just got to follow the method that you feel comfortable with, what you're comfortable. But again, you need to be coachable.
Yeah.
That's why I was talking about this today, actually, and I'm not going to go too far off, but when you get to the next level, everybody has a hitting coach, everybody has a fielding coach, they all have a mindset coach, they all have a physio coach, they have a massage therapist, they have, a strength coach, and that's because you have to stay at that level.
Yeah.
If you're missing one of those, more than likely you're going to go down.
Yeah.
And that's just fact. That's just fact. Tim Glover had Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan and D. Wade and Shaq and all these other. It's just, these guys are cleaners, and these guys are willing to do whatever it takes to win at any cost. Tom Brady, he wins the Super Bowl Sunday night, Monday morning. He's in Belichick's office. What are we going to do next year? You enjoy it for 24 hours, and that's the characteristic of the elite athlete, is you'll win, enjoy it for 24, get back to work. Get back to work. Because they're obsessed with the process. It's not even about the rings,
Well, they don't just want one.
Oh, no, yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I know, like, your favorite player,
Which one?
LeBron James.
Oh, yeah.
He,
LaQueen?
He, spends I don't know how much money on food, like to eat exactly how you're supposed to eat, the right amounts to keep him, fueled the whole year.
Sure.
Especially now that he's getting older. Along with a cool story is one of the coaches that I work with, one of his really good friends is LeBron James' strength coach. And he's took him with him since forever. I think when he first became a rookie with who was it, Cleveland?
Yeah, Cavaliers.
Cavaliers, there you go. They were playing in, I don't know what, like a not a pickup game, but like a combine or something. And he was still at school at the time, the strength coach. Goes to the combine, starts working with these players, not knowing who they are, right? Like LeBron James hadn't even played a game in the league. And LeBron James liked them. And he said, you know what? I want you to come with me. And ever since then, he's been with them.
That's great.
He took him to Miami, took him back to Cleveland. Now he has him in L.A.
Yeah, it's funny because that's just how that works. You find a guy. I mean, Tom Brady had his own strength coach. Yeah. And a lot of those guys, I mean, again, you're going to need those variables in order to be the best version of yourself, to perform at the highest level possible. Messi's got the same. And it's just, everybody wants to be. Go look at Messi's first, second, third game in Miami. Everybody goes. Even LaQueen went. They all went because everybody wants to be a part of a winning team. Even Serena Williams was there. Again, the Kardashians, whatever. But everybody wants to be a part of that winning team. Yep. What was his name? What's his name? Rick Ross or whatever. He was there, and he was like, if you don't even understand soccer, you just need to come here for the vibe. You're gonna leave electrified because it's all positive energy. What this world player has done to change the game here in the United States, because we don't get guys like that here. I mean, quite frankly, they all go to Europe. Well, Mbappe was offered $1 billion for 1 year. I mean, obviously he turned it down because going to those types of countries, you're going to have to follow the rules, and his boyfriend didn't want to. He can't have a boy, whatever the case is. No judgment here. You do what you want, but certain things you can and cannot do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And in those countries, and so it's a game changer. It's a game changer at that point. But when you get to this level here, and to wrap this up, to go down this road, is that people are starting this earlier. They are training earlier. Baseball is super popular. It is what it is. One of my friends, I coached him, and then I trained him and trained his kids. They started the weekend baseball league in South Florida. He's doing phenomenal. Yeah. Doing phenomenal. But again, trying to do it the right way, getting businesses involved, providing balls, not like the shit show that happened at Hillside. I don't know, whatever shit show happened there happened, but and that's, I didn't even know that happened. Just somebody told me about it, and I'm just like, wow, like really, like it's about the kids, man. Yeah. At the end of the day, it's about the kids. You're grown, you understand how the life works, and help the kids be the best version of themselves. Yeah. Help them, guide them, and it's, I really appreciate what I think his name is Coach Alanis from Sinton.
Yeah,
I think that's.
Well, they're brothers. The head coach and then his assistant is his brother.
So and I think I mentioned this before, is they say you don't have me as a coach. You have me as a mentor for life.
Yeah.
And so, that's very powerful to coming from a high school coach, because that's such a small town. Yeah. Everybody knows everybody. The corner store's shutting down when they're playing. And that's the type of community they're in. And, hopefully in Laredo that, that can come, full circle, and they can support the guys and the teams that come out of Laredo, and that, that, because it's hard. Once you pass checkpoint 29, it's a whole nother ball game. It's a whole nother ball game. I mean, just talking to Miller, I asked him, so how was it to pitch against that guy? He's like, George, the dude's huge. The guy's, he's a big dude, and this is just high school. Yeah. And then, so I asked him, how did it feel? How did it feel to watch him hit that first home run on ESPN when you were sitting at home watching ESPN and the guy hits the home run? He goes, well, at least he didn't hit one off me. He went 0 for 3 against me. But, hey, you don't have to, like we were saying earlier, you don't have to carry him. You just got to locate, Yeah. And so, we can go on and on and on and talk about baseball, because baseball is such a beautiful sport, such a intelligent sport. It's a lot of plays. You've got 5 to 9 plays going on every single pitch, and doing all that. But hopefully, like you say, Laredo comes around, and I think they will. I think they'll support the teams, and and do what they have to do. Same with LC. I hope they come around and bring back the sports. LC gave me the opportunity. Yeah. I played there for a minute, and then I transferred out. And
I think
then
that's making kids, the Laredo kids, lose a lot of opportunity with not having those teams.
Well, absolutely. Look, I went on and did my thing. I know a lot of guys. I've got a lot of friends that gave them the opportunity. Again, a lot of those guys are in law enforcement now, and these kids, they don't have anywhere. They may not be ready for, Tammy U, but they could be ready for a JUCO ball. And it's like you were saying earlier, any ball, any IA, D3, D2, D1, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You could put a school like Grand Canyon versus the San Jack, and San Jack's going to beat them, 5 out of 5, the 5 games out of 10 games, So, and that's the beauty of baseball. You just don't know how it's going to end up. The ball can take a wicked bounce, and you lose. So, any final thoughts? Anything you would tell the kids today, when you were in high school, like, what is that you could go back in time in your senior year? What would you tell these kids, senior, when you were a senior, what would you tell them now, looking back?
If there's one thing that I could tell these kids is all the cliche things work, right? Because a lot of people think like if you eat good, you work out, you put in the work, good things are going to happen, right? And it's very cliche to say that, right?
Right.
But it works, right? It's cliche for a reason. And I think number one thing is just to keep going, right? Keep going and keep going. Don't let anything stop you. If you want something really bad, you go and get it, regardless of what sport it is, or even if it's just education. Like, if you want to be a doctor, go be a doctor, right? There's no one, especially now in this time, there's nothing that can stop you.
Right. 100%.
There's a lot more resources, and it just keeps growing, right? There's a lot more opportunities, a lot more jobs, especially with COVID now. When COVID happened, like, I know people lost jobs, but then it opened up a lot more jobs that people didn't realize they needed. So just whatever you want, like, go get it, and just keep your head down, stay humble, right? And be coachable in life, not just in sports, right? Danny, I know you're going to go play baseball. Best of luck. Like George said, if I taught you one thing about baseball, good. If I didn't, it's fine. But just know that we'll always be here, right? I'll always be that person that you can call, regardless of what it is. I'll be that mentor that you need me to be when you need me to be. So that goes for everyone, and I'll always tell you guys, Like baseball, it's gonna end sometime, right? You get told, you can't play anymore, whether it's after T-ball or when you retire to become a Hall of Famer, and it's fine, Just enjoy the show, enjoy the road, enjoy the grind, because you're gonna miss it. A lot of good memories.
Yeah, and you'll come across a lot of people that you, again, you remember all your college dudes. I remember my college dudes. I talk about them almost every day. We were talking about Wake Forest today. I had a buddy who pitched at Wake Forest, and it was my roommate. He went on to go pitch for Boston, and him and his brothers, all of them got drafted. There was 4 of them. But, yeah, so, thank you for your time. Thank you, Milan, for hopefully he slept. He went to bed early tonight.
I hope so.
One thing that I can't say is that Danny has always said, no, coach he'll answer. He's the one guy that will always be there to help me, because when I would hit, he told me that story about 7:00 in the morning that you would go open up for him and he would be out there and just hit, and you would help him out. And then when he came to talk to me about coming back because he needed to get ready to go try out again, I told him, hey, you need to go hit. So then, I think I reached out to you. And then,
Yeah.
And then Danny reached out to you. And then, glad that you're able to be there for them, even though, he's not in the roster right now here at United anymore. That time has come and gone. Unfortunately for Danny, he got hurt, rehab, ready to go. He's going to start a new era starting next week. He's going to go off and go play some ball. But at the end of the day, kudos to you for, even answering the call, because there's a lot of coaches. They're too busy, right? They got the new guys, the new team, the new this, the new that, and focus on that, Danny's not going to help me win, right? You never know.
Now, if and this goes for you and for everyone, if I have the time, I'll give you the time. Obviously, it does get busy. But if some way you can, anyone can fit into the schedule, and especially like the players, that still want to keep going. Baseball is a very unselfish game, and I will never hold, the little things that I know
Right.
To myself. That's the game was so good to me, and this is the only way I know how to repay it back. So.
100%. And that's admirable that you say that, because there's a lot of coaches, again, they dial into the next year, And I know Danny has reached out to you several times on several occasions, and you, I think didn't you all play catch too at some point?
Yeah.
I don't know if you can. I heard that your throws weren't that, but anyways, we won't go into that. But honestly, we greatly appreciate your time. Great season. Congratulations to you and the team and the coaches. You guys did a phenomenal job. Hopefully y'all can repeat this again and go on and do the same thing. And hopefully, like you say, it'd be awesome for all 4 teams to make it. That would be awesome.
In our district.
In your district, because they deserve.
Yeah.
They deserve it to go. Honestly, because the talent is here. And we'll sit around and wait till that happens, and hopefully sooner than later, right? Just embrace that grind. Because you got to take those 100-ground balls every day. You got to turn those double plays. You got to take those hacks every single day. And I always say, I wasn't a hitter, but I've always said my childhood best friend was, and he'd go through a pair of batting gloves once a week. And this is back in the Roaring 20s, back in the day. So those things.
The gardening gloves.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you know how expensive those things were. Yeah. So you guys did a phenomenal job. Congratulations to the school. Hopefully you guys can do better this year. And obviously always wanting to be better, right?
Always improve.
Right? Always improve. 1% better every single day is what I say. Make yourself 1% better every single day. For the old guys, I tell them, read a book, these kinds of things. Positive mindset, PMA, positive mental attitude. I've never met a successful person with a negative mind.
Yeah.
So I've never met a successful person with a negative mind, ever. So always staying positive. Congratulations. Thank you for your time.
Thank you guys for having me.
No, thank you.
No, thank you, Boyle. We appreciate your time. I appreciate your time. Those calls, I know not anybody will pick that up. And especially with the advice you give me, it's super valuable information to me. And I really appreciate that you take the time out of your day to talk to me and give me advice. So that's really cool of you. And I'm gonna keep on calling you. I'll let you know how Ranger goes.
You might hear Milan in the background. I know there's been several times where I'm talking to you and he starts screaming.
I think I did hear him the last time I called you.
But if I see the phone and he didn't throw it somewhere,
or he's not watching Coco Melon or something.
He does not watch Coco.
Okay, that's good.
But if you have kids, at least for my son, he watches
Bluey,
Miss Rachel.
Oh my gosh, she's terrible.
No, she's really good, but he's been watching a lot. Her name is Miss Nena, which is just like Miss Rachel, but in Spanish.
Hey, those people make money.
So,
but
I want him to be fluent in Spanish before he learns English.
That's good.
So,
yeah, we know you gotta get back to feed on the bottle though. So,
yeah. So,
we'll wrap this up.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming out. We greatly appreciate it. Hey, if you learned anything and you like this and we gave you some kind of value with one of their high school coaches, one of the most successful.
This is the way Danny talks in the podcast.
If you got anything from this podcast today, if you got it, if you got any value, any kind of knowledge from today, like, subscribe, please put in the comments. Like I said last time, we had such a great positive response from the 2 high school kids that we had that we expect the same from here with the high school baseball coach here in Laredo, Texas. We thank you for watching. Again, there is no fee for this, and we have Tom with Thorn is always giving us solid, customer service. And great things are coming from him with some Major League Baseball players, and we'll see that in the future. But thank you for watching. We greatly appreciate you tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
See you guys. Thank you for watching.